Welcome to another edition of Let's Play WWE 2001. It's been a while since we dialed back the clock and went to the Invasion, but we have reached the go-home show for Judgment Day and the first pay-per-view in which I have actually started building up feuds, and where the feuds will culminate at Judgment Day. Where some of the feuds will culminate at Judgment Day, some of them will continue on to the King of the Ring next month, and even to Vengeance in 2 months. But what I will say is this, that Judgment Day is the last pillar in the build, as things will begin to change next week on Monday Night Raw. So, stay tuned with this week, and maybe you'll be able to pinpoint what's going to change next week. So let's jump into this episode of Monday Night Raw. We started off similar to how we kicked it off last week, with for the top contenders for Stone Cold Steve Austin's World Heavyweight Championship in the ring with one another, and we find out that it's going to be The Rock and Chris Benoit teaming up with Chris Jericho against The Big Show, Triple H, and Kurt Angle in the main event. That's right, a 6-man tag team main event tonight on Raw. And then we move to the next match as Al Snow goes one-on-one with William Regal, and William Regal gets the victory in a surprisingly good match. I in no way, shape, or form expected this match to get this good, but I'm very happy that it did, because, well, it shows what William Regal can do when he gets some popularity. So, and isn't on time to clock, you know? So, yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm very pleasantly surprised to see how good William Regal did. I mean, the fact that they had good chemistry probably helped, but I'm very pleasantly surprised to see how good both of them did. And speaking of pleasantly surprised, I gave Kurt Angle the open script because I figured the reason why Kurt and Chris Jericho were not featured with The Rock, Benoit, etc. was... And I'm also genuinely surprised that Kurt Angle was able to put forth such a good segment, but also, like I was going to say, the reason why I didn't put Kurt with the other guys, or Chris with the other guys, is because last week, Austin, Benoit, Hunter, Big Show, and The Rock started the show. They have the connection. Throwing Jericho and Angle in there would stretch the connection a little bit too far. And you say, but they're going to be in a 6-man tag team match. Yeah. That doesn't mean their feuds have to be intertwined. Just me. Now we move to some women's action as Trish and Jacqueline show that there's other people in the division other than Ivory, Lita, and Chyna. And Trish actually gets the victory over Jackie, which is kind of surprising because I thought Jackie would win. And no, I didn't pick the winner because, you know, it's more fun. And now we move to the next segment where the APA talk about their title match this Sunday, and they talk about Edge and Christian, and how in the last 3 years, Edge and Christian have risen up, but how they've never fought the APA, how they've never faced Farouk and Bradshaw, how they've never gotten in the ring and got their asses kicked from pillar to post by the two toughest dogs in WWF. But that all changes on Sunday. Speaking of two big dogs, Rikishi and Haku have their first tag match as a tag team. I want to say ever, but I wouldn't be surprised if they actually teamed together before. But either way, this is their tune-up match, and I wanted to put them against their actual tag team because I don't know the last time I actually made them team against a team, being a tag team match. And I wanted their tune-up match to be against a real team because Taker and Kane have more experience as a team than they do, and I wanted them to have more of a credible win, I guess. You know, yes, you may say, oh, what credible win does it come from beating Kaientai? In my opinion, it comes as a credible win because Kaientai is an actual team. And then Michael Cole comes down to ringside and gets a quick word with Rikishi, where Haku just stands there and looks menacing, and Rikishi says, Taker, Kane, you've been all talk, but this Sunday we're gonna show these people that your bark isn't as bad as your bite, because we're gonna bite harder, and by the end of it, it's gonna be our yard, not yours. And now we reached that part of the show where the WCW alumni make their presence felt as Diamond Dallas Page, Chronic, and Stacy Keibler make their way through the crowd, in from the concourse, and down to their... Actually, they have different seats this week, a little further up from the top, about halfway on the Howard camera side, but in the perfect place on the hard camera side, because in every shot that the hard camera does going across the ring on that side of the arena, you're going to see Paige, Brian Clark, Brian Adams, and Stacy for the rest of the show, which, if I remember correctly, I think the show's about half done at this point. Now, last week, Eddie Guerrero had his tune-up match for the pay-per-view. Now this week, Jeff Hardy has his tune-up match for the pay-per-view, and it's against Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Yes, I know you say, oh, why put two baby faces against each other? In my opinion, it doesn't make a difference. In my opinion, it doesn't make a difference because of the fact that either way, you know, if you're going to do heel face for the entire card, you're going to run out of ideas for possible matches in 2 weeks. But if you're not afraid to do babyface versus babyface, then you're going to extend the match possibilities astronomically, because then I could put, Matt Hardy versus The Rock or whatever. You know what I mean? But if I only do, like, if Jeff Hardy jumped in and faced Big Boss Man, then that means for the next 4 months I can't do Boss Man versus Hardy, otherwise it's going to be a repeat of an old match. You know? See, I'm not WWE in that aspect, that if I do a match, you're not going to see the match again for at least 3 months, or at least 2 months at least. Definitely on the same show, maybe a month if it's on a different show. But, that's the same with feuds. If I have Triple H feud with Austin, they're not going to feud again for at least at least maybe 8 months to a year. That's why I like having big rosters, because the bigger the roster, the more people you have to choose from to feud. But either way, we move on, and Michael Cole is back at ringside and asks Jeff Hardy about his opinion on the European title shot that he gets this Sunday And Jeff says, it's a big chance. Because it's my first opportunity at a singles title in WWE, in WWF. But win, lose, or draw, you people need to understand one thing. That this isn't the end of the Hardys. This is just our chance to branch out and try something different. But that doesn't mean that come Sunday you won't be get that Eddie Guerrero, you won't get anything short of my best. Oh, I gotta drop that. I'm not turning him face anymore. Yes, I know I could have chosen a little bit better the formatting of this, and that instead of having the Hardys go back to back, I could have had Matt's match earlier and Jeff's match later, or what have you, but I figured, what the fuck's the difference? It doesn't matter. Either way, Big Boss Man gets the victory against Matt Hardy. And yes, this is, this may seem like, oh, Matt's losing more, Jeff's winning more. That's gonna attribute. Then you're gonna attribute it to Matt getting jealous, Matt turning heel, Jeff staying babyface, and it being a feud. Well, I hate to break it to you, I'm not ready to break them up, so it's not gonna happen. Backstage segment with the heels, building up the match, the main event, 6-man tag. Backstage segment with the baby faces, same thing. I gotta stop having Benoit do talking segments because he's terrible at talking. He's always an absolute mess. Well, actually, he's not bad when there's a script, but if there's no script, then he's terrible. Which is not unrealistic because he wasn't very good on the mic. But that's where his wrestling, like, this is what I don't, maybe because of the draw that the segment dropped in, final rating, but 88, 99, 80, 86, 92, 80, 95, nobody got below an 80, but the match got a 78. This is what I don't understand about this file. This is what I don't understand about this database, and what bothers me the most, that matches that should be getting 90s get fucking 78s. What? Was it because that none of the segments have over a 90 in momentum? Is that it? Is that what dragged it down? Does that really matter that much? Either way, let's see what we got. Holy shit. A 79 final rating, and look, we actually increased our popularity. I honestly don't remember the last time we actually increased our popularity and did not lose popularity on a show in this season, but no surprise it's on Raw, because for whatever reason, I always book Raw better than I book SmackDown. So, take that for what it is. A happy coincidence. But with that being said, let me know what you think of the booking, and also let me know if you could see the booking so far in this season, and also let me know what you think, if you think you can pinpoint what's going to be different next week on Raw as compared to this week, and what the big change will be following Judgment Day. Let me know down in the comment section below, but if you don't want to leave a comment, you can always leave a like, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. Till next time. Later.